Hello, thanks for watching Mr. 151 Josh's YouTube channel. And guess what? It's that time of year again, 2013 spring, and we got some mole issues going on already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to answer some of the questions that I've been getting asked on my other mole videos and make things abundantly clear on how to set a trap properly and how to actually catch a mole instead of just wasting your time and going through a lot of heartache trying to get them with other traps that are faulty, explosives, poisons, gases, all that stuff that's just novelty. It doesn't work. The trap that I use is called out-of-sight traps. I've trapped hundreds of moles with them, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set one properly from beginning to end. And I think you'll find this whole video really informative, and you now will then have the answer to your mole problems. You'll be able to trap them and eventually get them all out of your yard and only have to do springtime maintenance when they come back. So here we go. Here's your out-of-sight trap, obviously. It comes with the two tongs that are provided. Something that I want to show you that you have to do when you're setting them, you get it out of the box and it's got this tongue right here. A lot of times when the trap is set, that tongue is too far away, and it's you need to bend it just a little bit to make it more of a hair trigger. And it's really easy. You just take it and bend it a little bit like that, and you get it all set. Just put a little bend in it, and you might have to practice doing that a little bit to get it the exactly right bend, because what we're going to do is we're going to put it on a hair trigger here in a minute and make it right. But you take the trap, and if you want to follow along doing it this way, it's really easy. You can set that right there. You put one tong underneath on the spring, and then another tong just like that on the spring in the middle of the trap like that, so that you've got it kind of set up like that. You can see how it is right like that. I'm about to set it. You just squeeze these two to set it. It's really easy to do. So you push it down. I've got it squeezed. Then you take the tongue apparatus using this here, and put it on the tongue, and then you can let loose of your grip. See that? I let loose. And what you want to do though, while you still kind of can hold a grip on it, is flip this safety over. So that way, if it does go off accidentally, you don't get smacked with it, or you don't get a finger in it. I'm going to show you, while I got it here like this, what I'm talking about, the bend. Right here is the mechanism that sets it off. In between there and there, the mole is going to go through here, snap that, and it's going to go off. So if the tongue, this part, is too far that way, it's harder to get a good area for the mole to travel through. So you bend this up that way just a little bit, and you can make it on a better of a hair trigger type of thing. Now, another way to help you out with the hair trigger thing is when you look at this part and you set this with your hand, just see that space under there. Don't put it all the way touching. Make it so you can have a little space, and you got a much more hair trigger. I'm even going to put it on more of a hair trigger than I have it on right now. You just squeeze it again, and you kind of adjust it so it's just barely touching. Now, it's probably going to go off one or two times when you first do that, because it's not real easy to do. But I tell you, it can mean the difference between catching a mole and them just getting away and ruining your yard some more. All right, so now we've got that done. Whoop, see that? It just went off my hair trigger. That sucks. But I had it on safety, so it's really easy to go back and put it back on again. Maybe I had it on a little too much of a hair trigger there. But that's okay, because that's what we want. Okay. I'm trying to do it. There. That's pretty good. See that right there? How the space is between there? Okay. Anyway, let's go back at it again. Take out your tongs carefully, and the trap is ready, but it's still got the safety on, so it's not going to get your finger if you get it in it, hopefully. I mean, I wouldn't recommend putting your finger in it, setting it off. Anyway, though, now what you want to think about when you're setting a mole trap is where the mole's traveling. You want to find a good trail that is a kind of a straightaway part of a trail. You don't want to do it on a bend or anything else like that. So what I've got here, I've got a straightaway running right through here. You can't see it real good on the camera, but there's a little bit of a bulge right here. It's about, I don't know, from here to here you can see it when you're looking at it, and then he goes down further in the ground each way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a plug out right here, a circle, just a little bit bigger than his trail is around, probably about 6 to 7 inches around. And I'm going to do that right now, and I will show you. I'm going to set the trap down over here, out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and take this 6-inch plug out. You just take a trowel like this and make a circle with it. Going down, I bet, about 4 or 5 inches or so. You don't have to go crazy. You just go round in a circle all the way around till you got a nice circle plug cut out of the grass. Take the trowel and stick it in nice and deep and lift your plug out. Now, before you really go any further, oh, look at that. See that? Here's the reason why I have moles in my yard. I don't do grub control here. There's a grub. That's why these moles are here. Grubs make a clicking noise that attracts them to your lawn. So the real key in mole prevention is getting rid of the grubs. However, grub control is expensive. It's hard to do. If you don't know the ingredients and your climate, they sell a lot of faulty grub stuff out there. So you really got to do your research if you're going to try to kill the grubs out of your lawn. Anyway, once you get that plug taken out, very gently with your fingers, you want to find his trail. So, right there, there's a hole. There's part of his trail. And let's move some of this dirt a little and see if it's over here or not. Because if you don't find 2 trails, you really can't set the trap there. And that's not good. Oh, here it is. There it is, right there. Okay, good. We're all set. Okay, now that we've found his trail and we know it runs right through here, right across there, you're going to imagine that mole going through these jaws. So you want to straddle that trail with these jaws. So you want to do kind of a practice set where you're just setting it in there and imagining it. And make sure you don't feel any rocks with the tongs. Rocks can be your enemy. They will get in your way, stop the trap from closing all the way. You won't get them all, and that's no good. Anyway, looks like we've got a good spot. So now what you want to do is you don't really need to worry about doing damage to these 2 runs. He'll come back through and just plow right through, and you won't even notice you were messing with it usually. But you want to take your trowel and make some slots for the jaws to run in. You don't have to be perfect about it. Just get a couple nice slots on each side where you practice set them so that they will slide in there and they can kind of fly freely when he comes through and snapping on him. One thing that you do want to do here now is when you judge his hole, you want to build a bridge of dirt in the middle, right across, like this. A nice little bridge of dirt that's going to come right up to the underneath of the tongue mechanism. The top of your bridge, dirt bridge, is going to just touch this, but you got to make sure it's touching. That's hard to do without setting your trap off every time. You got to be gentle when you do it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the trap in just up to that dirt bridge. And you got to be gentle. You got to kind of work it and just get it, because you've got it on that hair trigger. Once you get it in there, That's pretty good right there. See how the dirt's touching the tongue, just touching it right there? Anyway, now, you still got the safety on the trap. Still leave it on because you still have the probability of setting it off on accident where you have to redo things. But I've done the slots for the jaws. I've got the dirt bridge. I've got the mole trap set in. And here is another little trick I've learned over the years. Is you get some leaves. Just find some leaves that are laying around. I'm sure everybody's got leaves in their yard. And where you want to put those leaves is, I'm just collecting some leaves here. You put about that many leaves or so. You put them over top of that mechanism where I was pointing in so that dirt doesn't fall in between there when you replace the dirt and stop the mechanism from going off. You know, that's just something I do. You don't have to do it, but I recommend it because it makes more of a successful mole trapping situation. So then you take your dirt plug that you pulled out earlier, this guy right here. You're going to rip that dirt plug in half like that. Then you're going to take one half and rip it into quarters. You take those 2 quarters, and on the side that's got the tongue, when the trap goes off, that's going to flip up. You don't want anything in the way because that stops the trap from closing on him. So you got the 2 ripped in half. You put them on each side of that mechanism right there so that it's got a free-flying area to fly right through those 2 quarters, and it can go off easier. You take a little bit. I got some excess dirt here, and you can take that dirt without grass in it, put a little bit on your leaves and stuff so that you don't ruin your grass. And then you take your grass plug, the other half, and you place it on the other side of the trap like that. You can pat it down a little bit, but don't do it too hard or you're going to set off that hair trigger that we need later. Now you probably got a little bit more dirt left over, and what you want to do is you want to fill in any light holes that might be around on the sides so that Mr. Mole is none the wiser when he comes plowing through your yard looking for grubs. There we go. Now that, almost done. The last thing that you want to do is take the safety off, just like that. And that is the proper way to set the out-of-sight mole trap that you can find at Home Depot or probably any hardware store that carries mole trapping. They have a lot of traps there, a lot of different kinds. I've tried them. This is the only one that I find that works almost all the time when set properly. The other ones wound or miss a lot of moles, and that's very frustrating when you've got a beautiful yard and a mole's just tearing it up for you. Nobody wants that. So, I hope you learned something here. Feel free to ask any comment or leave comments, ask any questions. I appreciate them. I answer all of them. Thanks for watching today. I want to give a quick shout out to Manny Calvala in the Netherlands. He's one of my subscribers that he's been really supportive, and I really appreciate hearing from him every time I post a video. Thanks for watching again, and let me just show you one time really quickly where I'm trapping at. I'm trapping near a flower bed, and we've got woods on the edges of the yard, and that's where the moles come out of. But we've got a lot of lawn here, plenty of it, and this is springtime again, and they're just starting to come out. So hopefully the next part of this video you'll see is the mole caught out of this trap. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I appreciate it. I really appreciate subscriptions. Thank you very much. Oh, and please hit the like button. If you got any kind of information from this, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you.